Man, nothing beats skipping school to lounge around on the couch with your dog. Oh, this is great. What's this? Text message from Isabel. Where are you? We have a test in Euro tomorrow. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot. What am I gonna do? She's gonna kill me. Scout, what should I do? What should I do? You know what? There's nothing I can do at this point. Just need to watch some more TV and eat some more chips to cope with my misery of procrastination.
Is there underlying unrest in your country? Are revolutions breaking out in your streets? Do you not have a way to deal with those traitorous revolutionaries? Then I have the product for you. Hi, I am Dr. Joseph Guillotine.
And I'm Maximilian Robespierre.
And we are here to advertise my newest invention, Dr. Joseph Guillotine's head-slicing, neck-slicing killing machine, more commonly known as the guillotine.
Egotistical much?
I heard that. In any case, this machine will revolutionize the art of killing your enemies, reducing the amount of strokes to the neck from several to one.
Unless you're Louis XVI. His neck was so fat it took 2 strokes to kill him. You should have seen the look on his face when they had to make the second stroke.
Thank you. However, the best thing about the guillotine is the fact that it is equal in its executioning. During the French Revolution, all manners of people fell victim to its deadly blade. Peasants, bourgeoisie, nobles, and royals all fell victim to its deadly blade. But why should you take just my word for it? Well, you don't have to. Robespierre here is a frequent customer and user of the guillotine. Isn't that right, Max? Shh. Isn't that right, Max?
I'm awake! Yes, I do use a guillotine, and I'm very pleased with my purchase of it. In fact, during the Reign of Terror, more than 50,000 people were led to this machine under my orders and had their heads removed. This machine worked extremely well for getting my radical message of fear across to the people of France. That is, until now, the beginning of the directory phase of the revolution and the end of the terror. When the people are using the machine to execute me, this isn't very fun.
Well, what can I say? You are crazy.
Hey, I'm not crazy. I'm just a visionary who wished to spread my ideas of a republic across France. It's not my fault the terror was necessary to do that.
Dude, I'm pretty sure scholars have proven that you are mentally unstable or something.
I'm not insane. You're just jealous of my enlightened mind.
Okay, well, Robespierre, I have a feeling that our esteemed viewers would like a little demonstration of how the product works. Any last words?
Enjoy your purchase. Wait, last words?
Well, I hope whoever that was on television, they're okay now. That looks like it hurt. Guillotine on live television is just... Well, whoever that was, I don't know. That made me learn more about the French Revolution, even though I'm sitting here on my couch. But it's still not enough. That was a unit test that I'm missing, so I have to know more. Maybe there's something on another channel?
Welcome back to Who Wants to Build an Empire? Here's your host, Dom E. Nate.
We are getting into the thick of things, folks. Our contestant today is Mr. Napoleon Bonaparte. And boy, he is not messing around. He has already blown through our first few rounds and has conquered Spain, Italy, the Confederation of Rhine, the Grand Duchy of Warsaw, and has allied himself with the Prussians, Austrians, Denmark, and Norway. However, that defeat at Trafalgar has left him with the 1 strike on board, and if he gets 2 more, then it's exile for sure. Napoleon, are you ready to continue?
I am as ready as I'll ever be.
Alright then, our next round is Russia. Now, if you answer this next question correctly, you will conquer Russia.
I will squash these Tsar's enemies like cockroaches under my boot. I do not need to get a question right to know that.
Okay. Well, your next question is true or false? Invading Russia on foot, wearing light clothing, and carrying minimal food and resources is a good idea.
Ha!
The answer to this is simple. My men will sweat less with light hair gear in the summer sun, and we can pillage the villages and cities along the way to supply ourselves with food and arms. It will save my men from excess exhaustion. I say that this is true.
Ooh, I'm sorry, Napoleon, but that answer is incorrect.
What? But how?
You see, Russia's winters are extremely brutal, and the long march to St. Petersburg and Moscow can kill an army if they are not outfitted correctly. With the warm gear and food, plus the Russian army heard you coming, and they burned their cities and farms to prevent you from pillaging.
Sacre bleu! This is not good!
No, it is not. I'm afraid you've lost over half of your army, and you've earned another strike. If you fail this next question, you are exiled. Now, the next category is decisive battles. Here is your question. Pick a battle site that will result in a success. Mantua, Acre, Leipzig, or Brenne.
Well, Leipzig is the shortest distance away, and I will already have allied myself with Prussia and Austria, so I will say C is the correct answer.
Ooh, tough luck, Napoleon, but that is incorrect. Unfortunately, at the Battle of Leipzig, you were defeated tremendously and forced to retreat back to France, persuaded by the forces and the Sixth Coalition, led by Russia, Prussia, and Austria. Your forces are defeated, and you yourself are captured by the coalition, who exiles you to the island of Elba and began the Congress of Vienna, as an attempt to undo all of your actions in a conservative manner and to restore the old monarchs to their respective thrones. As for you, I'm afraid this is game over. Oh, what is this? It looks like you've earned an extra life for creating the Code Napoleon, which united the people of Europe under a common and strong set of laws. If you answer the next question correctly, then you will win the game.
Alright, what is my question?
What is the best course of action to take after seizing France back? A. To negotiate with the Congress of Vienna delegates. B. Gain the support of your sympathizers in battle. C. Rule France peacefully without trying to expand your territory. Or D. Face the forces of the Seventh Coalition in a bloody, decisive battle.
Those peons need to pay for exiling me to that island and for defeating me in battle. I must face them on the battlefield and reclaim my glory and honor. The answer is D.
Sorry, that was incorrect. At the Battle of Waterloo, the coalition forces utterly defeat you and send you to St. Helena, an island that you cannot escape from. The Congress of Vienna then proceeds to restore the old rulers and attempt to create a conservative Europe. However unstable that conservative Europe may be, you have lost.
No, c'est impossible!
I'm afraid it isn't. And that concludes our show. Tune in next week, where another challenger will play Who Wants to Build an Empire.
Man, that guy was an idiot. And why was he so short? And what's with his arm? But still, it's not what I'm looking for.
Welcome back to another episode of Professor Jill. Today's topic, the conditions and flaws of the Industrial Revolution. I'm excited to have on my show today 2 interviewees. First, we have Mr. I. M. Rich, the owner of the Silky Soft Fabric Company and Factories.
Yes, how do you do? Thank you for inviting me on this show.
In addition, we have Miss Ima Poor Pearson, who is factory worker in one of Mr. Rich's factories. Is that right, Ima?
Yep, that's right. I work on the 2nd floor at Loom Station 11. I'm responsible for straightening out all of the threads and weaving them together on my loom to make cloth.
Excellent, excellent. Let's get right into the interview then. First off, Mr. Rich, how would you describe this era?
Why, I would describe it as any sane man would, as an era of great productivity and economic prowess. With the drastic increase in population, the rapid invention of the new technologies, and the large surpluses of edible food, this era allowed businessmen like me to make a prosperous living and provided thousands of workers with stable jobs and income.
Well, it sounds like a great time to be living in. What do you say, Ima?
It's a great time to live in, if you're bourgeoisie. For workers like me, life isn't that great. We live in terrible conditions with little money, and we spend hour after hour working in factories like the one he owns, which are monotonous and dangerous.
Really? Care to enlighten us on what conditions are like in the factories?
Well, first of all, the factories are dirty and unsanitary. There's dust and pieces of thread in the air, which threatens to choke all of the workers. And I've seen mice skittering around the factory floor on many occasions. The factory overseers are cruel and keep us for longer than our already long hours, for very little pay. They lock us into the factory and take some of our wages away if we break even the slightest rules, like not tying up our hair or falling asleep at the machines. We don't even have time for leisure or for fun, because all we do is work.
That is preposterous. I have talked with the overseer of the factories myself, and they have assured me that the people are happy in their work and are paid well with sick days if their health fails. He assured me that the workers hired are of a certain age and are pleased with their jobs.
That's hardly true. Half of the workers in the factory are younger than me, and I'm only 16. The overseers hire kids to fit between the machines and untangle threads. But those kids aren't happy. In fact, they're miserable. How would you feel if you worked in between machines for 13 hours where you might be torn to shreds?
Torn to shreds?
The machines in the factories are large and mechanical, and only children can fit in between them. But oftentimes the machines are moving so fast and full of gears, one wrong move can cause a child to get caught in the machinery. There, they can lose a limb or even die.
I tell you again, that is impossible. My subordinates have told me that the factories are a safe and productive environment.
Mr. Rich, have you actually stepped foot into one of your factories before? Have you ever seen the conditions in which your factories operate?
Well, no. I mean, of course not. It'd be beneath my station. It would be a disgrace.
Very well. Well, Miss Poor, what are the conditions of the workers' houses?
Well, many of us pay rent to live in the company's boarding houses, which only gives the money back to the company. The houses that we live in are often filthy, with several families crammed into one squalid environment. My house alone has 3 families living in it, and we're one of the luckier cases.
Well, that's hardly my fault. You should have reconsidered before you rented the room with other people in it.
Hardly your fault! You're the one who made this housing unit, you ignorant twit!
Why, you...
Well, that seems to be all the time we have for these 2 guests. Tune in the next time when I interview Neil Ferguson after this commercial break.
Hello viewers, welcome to Jeopardy! Our 4 categories are terms, people, concepts, revolutions.
Terms for 200, please.
These 2 terms can be linked together. The greatest good for the majority leading to a better society with democracy.
What is utilitarianism and liberalism? Terms for 300.
This is an economic system that is often related to socialism.
What is communism? People for 300.
These 2 wrote the Communist Manifesto.
What are Marx and Engels?
Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, yes.
Revolutions 400.
The Continental Powers aided this country with a revolution against the Ottoman Empire.
What is Greece?
That is right. We're back to you.
Revolutions for 600, please.
This Russian Revolution is known to be the first rebellion with specific goals.
What is a Decembrist revolt?
Man, Jeopardy seems like a fun show. I sure would like to audition for it. Well, on the other hand, it did teach me a lot about all the isms that Sheehy likes to talk about so much. Right, Sheehy? Huh, I wonder what's on this channel.
I brought in a collection of photos. These are from my grandfather. He has collected such items for most of his time and gave it to my father. I found it in a box in the attic one day. I thought it would be nice to bring them in and see the worth of these historical photographs.
If you just had to guess the price, what would it be?
I don't know what the value of my grandfather's photographs would have been at his time, so I don't know how much it's worth nowadays either.
Well, as a collector of historical evidence, specifically through the medium of photography, I was very interested in these. They, in my mind, are great to depict aspects of the Crimean War and Russian Revolution. This photo depicts the strategic layout the Russian Empire would have used. It shows the weapons they would be provided to go to war.
We can see how everything is clustered in between this area of protection they have created. Beyond that, we see the open land, and it shows the other fort of protection across from them. This is a great photo in a condition that shows it has lasted through time, but it can be seen clearly enough for it to have great value.
Okay.
The next photo here is also of the Crimean War, and probably also a propaganda piece. To be honest, all of these definitely could be. It shows men sitting and standing, and also a woman in the background. They seem to be lounging around, not in an afraid frenzy, or appearing to be amidst a war they were losing.
Okay.
It is completely original, and there is even a date of when it was taken on the bottom right corner. Now, these next two photos on the Russian Revolution were also extraordinary. This right here is actually really beautiful. It shows the Bolshevik leader, Vladimir Lenin, delivering a speech. Your grandfather must have been in the crowd when taking the shot. We see men listening intently to what is being said. Great emotion was caught in this of Lenin.
Wow.
Lastly, this here is of men and women standing together, and it seems to me that they are protesting. We can see swords and banners raised high. On the left side, we can also see a man with a bow and arrows behind his back.
Okay.
These 4 photos are great and in very phenomenal conditions. Your grandfather depicted many historical photos. This is a nice collection.
Ugh, Antique Roadshow is boring. All those stupid pictures. Who cares that it was the only war that they took pictures in? Ugh, what's next? Oh God, not Family Feud.
Hey, welcome back to my show, Christine's Criticisms. I'm Christine, and I just finished watching a movie on the Italian and German unifications called Joining Together. So basically, there was this guy called Giuseppe Mazzini. Weird name, but like, it's Italian. His apprentice was called Giuseppe Garibaldi. They had the same name, that's so weird. They started Young Italy. Young Italy was a political movement which wanted Italian unification. The people who were against the unification were Piedmont, Sardinia, France, and the Pope. So basically, they fought, stuff happened, and yeah, Italy became united. Honestly, I kind of slept through that part. But the part that I was awake on was the German unification. The person in control for that was Otto von Bismarck. Weird name, but like it fits him because he looks like an otter. He was a Prussian statesman and reorganized the Prussian army, then went against Austria. It was called the 7 Weeks' War, and the treaty forced Austria to stay out of German affairs. Bismarck then wrote a fake letter claiming a French ambassador insulted the Prussian king, which evoked tensions and caused France to call war on Prussia. This German people sided with Prussia. This was known as the Franco-Prussian War. It ended with France losing and handing over Alsace-Lorraine.
Do you have money and a lot of time to spare? Then stop by La Belle Epoque Hotel in Britain. There's 2 beaches nearby and a park across the street. Spend your time talking, swimming, playing croquet, or playing polo, which is basically the same thing, but on horses. Book in the next 2-3 weeks, and we'll send you tickets to the Grand Exhibition in London, where Britain will be showing off all of our fine industries. There's even rumors that Sigmund Freud and Charles Darwin themselves are going to be special guests there. So book your hotel room now, and...
Hold up! Votes for women! Women have been servants of their husbands for far too long. We deserve the same treatment and the same rights as all of the men of London and the rest of the world, and you.
Yeah, you tell. How did this get here? Get away from me. Ooh, SNL's on.
No, I told you.
That is my land.
Ladies, let's all calm down. Now, we all realize that Africa and Asia hold almost unlimited potential for us to expand our trade, territories, and empires. We must be civil in the way we divide these countries among us.
Ha, you are one to talk about being civil. It is your country, especially your entrepreneur, Cecil Rhodes, who has claimed the most land of us all.
A railroad from Cape to Cairo, indeed. When will your British ambitions end? We already have had enough of your conquest in India. Why don't you leave Africa for the rest of Europe?
First of all, don't hate on my boy Cecil. He is only fulfilling our burden as white men. And women in the African continent. We must colonize and Christianize our African subordinates. It is our duty.
Oh, and what about African culture, ethnic groups, backgrounds?
Screw that. They don't need their own culture anyways. Alright, now Marianne, I was thinking that your country could control most of northern Africa. My country will control Egypt, Sudan, Nigeria, Southern Africa, and a few others. Does that sound alright with you?
Yes.
Wait, what about me?
Well, we've decided to give you these 3 countries here.
What? Why?
Well, since your country has been expanding so rapidly and making such a huge military power, that we figured that you would not want to bother with controlling more than a lot of colonies, of course. So we give you 3 to keep you happy. In fact, why don't you go manage your country right now? I'll just show you to the door.
Oh, well, if you think
Yes,
so.
Yes. Well, right. Damn Fritz.
Wait, what about China?
We're still fighting the Opium War with them, but when we win, we'll make sure that they agree to free trade, overseen by the British Empire, of course.
Well, alright. I will go collect my countries now, and I guess so, you fat fool.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Nothing.
It's all going according to plan. Soon all of Africa and all of Asia will be under our control. The sun will never set on the British Empire. And it will help once we get all of the Chinese people addicted to that sweet, sweet opium. They will not stand a chance against our forces, and we will take them over just as we took over India. All we gotta do is send our forces in, and they'll fall down at our feet just like that.
喂，那我们的声音呢？你征服中国之前，能不能先想想我们？你这个臭笨蛋！
I have no idea what you just said, but it doesn't matter because you have no voice now. Get out! Wait a second. I feel a lot lighter than when we started this recording. Must be all the Euro stressing.
And now, an update from the Western Front. World War I continues to rage on across Europe, and across the continent, many conscripted men are suffering through harsh and terrible conditions. On the Western Front, men are constantly needing to prepare for attack. Ever since the British Empire first entered the war, the forces of the Allies have been digging trenches and making trench bottoms to defend themselves from artillery. These trenches are often lined with barbed wire and fences to conceal them. The men also have to dig dugouts in the hills to conceal and hide them during extremely heavy fire. During battle, the men in the trenches face the dangers of shells and of getting caught in no man's land. There's also the danger of gas, which the soldiers have to constantly drill for. These attacks destroy the encampments of the men and have obliterated countless entrenchments and buildings. However, when the fighting ceases for the day, the men have to face even greater threats. Here the men are shown unpacking extra pairs of socks that none uses to keep the men's feet dry and free of trench foot infection. The men also have lice and little bathing time, so when they get the chance, the men are quick to take up the offer of a shave and a bath. In addition, food for the soldiers is delivered once a week, and it is carried into camp almost ceremoniously. As the war drags on, the conscripted soldiers have a long battle ahead of them, but with luck, the militaristic view we've all come to know will shine through. This has been an update from the front.
Well, Scout, I think we've watched TV long enough. Might as well go and study for that test now, even though what we saw may have prepared us for the test. Well, better get going and start studying.